UFC returned to action Saturday night with UFC 266 with the championship doubleheader where Alexander Volkanovski defended his title against Brian Ortega and Valentina Shevchenko took on Lauren Murphy, and MMA on the Go has the results. Starting with the prelims, Jonathan Pearce showed his grappling skills to begin the evening, submitting Omar Morales in the second round with a rear naked choke. Pearce secured the choke on Morales after mounting the back of Morales. The fully applied choke caused a tap from Morales, causing the fight to come to an end. Pearce was attached to Morales in the round before as well, wrestling Morales for most of the frame. Pearce now has 2 consecutive UFC wins. His previous victory was his first in the UFC, stopping Kai Kamaka 3 last year.
Jonathan J.S.P. Pierre!
Matthew Semelsberger demolished UFC newcomer Martin Sano on Saturday, finishing him in just 15 seconds with strikes. Semelsberger dropped Sano early with a right cross. After following up with a hammer fist punch, the referee stepped in and stopped the fight. Semelsberger is now back in the win column after losing a fight to Chaos Williams in June.
Matthew Semi the Jedi Semelsberger!
Diaz protege Nick Maximov won his UFC debut on Saturday using his wrestling and grappling abilities to control short-notice opponent Cody Brundage for a unanimous decision win. Brundage had strong grappling in all 3 rounds, hitting dominant positions on the ground and attempting submissions at points. Brundage was able to survive positions, although he often had no answer for Maximov's attacks. Brundage was able to get some strikes in late, connecting with ground and pound in the final round.
Nick Maximov!
Jalin Turner handed Uros Medic his first pro loss on Saturday, hurting him with strikes on the feet before concluding his performance with a rear naked choke submission in the first round. A fast flurry of punches from Turner made Medic drop to the ground late in the round. Capitalizing on this, Turner took his back and applied the choke to end the fight. Turner is now on a 3-fight winning streak. His 2 previous victories in the run came over a year ago, defeating Joshua Culibao and Brock Weaver in 2020.
Jalin the Tarantula Turner!
Taylor Santos continued her climb up the flyweight division on Saturday, defeating veteran Roxanne Modafferi via unanimous decision. Santos was dominant during stand-up exchanges in all 3 rounds. Her punches did damage to Modafferi, causing bruising and cuts. While Modafferi was able to have some moments of success on the ground, Santos was also able to secure her own takedowns and notch control time. Santos now has a 3-fight winning streak, including victories she earned over Molly McCann and Jillian Robertson last year.
Talia Santos!
Chris Daukaus continued his undefeated finish streak in the UFC, stopping the returning Shamil Abdurakhimov in the second round with punches. Daukaus dropped Abdurakhimov with a right hook early in the second round, beginning the finishing sequence for the bout. He followed up with a few shots on the ground before the referee stopped the fight. Daukaus came close to finishing the fight in the first round as well. After dropping Abdurakhimov with a left hook in the final minute of the round, Daukaus landed a series of ground and pound punches and elbows until the round ran out of time. Dan Hooker picked up his first victory in over a year on the prelims, sweeping scorecards against Nasrat Haqparast for a unanimous decision result. Hooker was the advancing fighter in the opening round, the frame that was mostly contested on the feet. The second and third rounds saw more grappling from Hooker, getting Haqparast down and dominating on the ground. Many worried that this fight wouldn't take place on the card, as both Hooker and Haqparast had last-minute issues obtaining a visa to get into the country. Haqparast was also heading into the fight shortly after the passing of his mother. Hooker gave kind words to Haqparast after their performance.
Dan the Hangman Hooker!
Merab Dvalishvili had a hard-fought performance to keep his win streak alive on Saturday, prevailing in a hectic, back-and-forth battle against Marlon Morales that came to an end in the second round. Morales nearly put away Dvalishvili early in the first round, stringing together a series of hooks that backed up Dvalishvili and made him run away from exchanges. Making a comeback within the same round, Dvalishvili scored a takedown and nearly stopped Morales with ground and pound strikes. Hard punches from full guard from Dvalishvili visibly rocked Morales late, although it didn't cause the fight to end. Riding the momentum of a strong finish in the first round, Dvalishvili was able to put an end to the fight in the second round. Taking Morales down in the second round, Dvalishvili unloaded with ground and pound that went unanswered, eventually causing the fight to end.
Marab, the machine, Dvalishvili!
Before we finish the video, if you enjoyed this content, like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to get the latest videos from MMA on the go. Jessica Andrade got back to her winning ways in the opening bout of the main card, putting away Cynthia Calvillo in the first round with strikes. Andrade charged forward for an entire round with strikes. She would explode forward with combinations of hooks, not always connecting with shots but always causing Calvillo to back up at least. Andrade took Calvillo out of the fight late in the round, unloading with punches that caused Calvillo to shell up against the cage. After Calvillo didn't answer back to a long series of the shots, the referee stepped in and put an end to the contest. Andrade was making her first appearance since she lost a title fight to Valentina Shevchenko in April. She now has an even record at flyweight of 2 wins and 2 losses.
Jessica Bautista
Curtis Blaydes defeated a ranked heavyweight on Saturday night, earning a scorecard win over Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Blaydes earned a takedown in the opening round that kept Rozenstruik down for a couple minutes. Back to the feet, the heavyweights engaged in a slow, but close striking battle. Rozenstruik landed a clean knee to the head of Blaydes in the second round, although Blaydes responded immediately by landing a takedown. It became clear in between the second and third rounds that a shot caused major swelling under the right eye of Blaydes. Blaydes secured the last round of the fight, taking Rozenstruik down early and keeping him grounded for the majority of those 5 minutes.
Curtis Razor Blaydes.
Robbie Lawler scored a win against the returning Nick Diaz on Saturday, scoring a third-round stoppage win and avenging a loss that dates back more than a decade. The strict stand-up battle saw both fighters exchange punches in a back-and-forth battle before a stoppage in the third round. The fight had an abrupt end in the 11th minute. Diaz dropped early in the third round after getting hit with a right hook. Diaz remained on the ground after the knockdown. Once Lawler asked the referee to stand Diaz up, Diaz decided not to get up, causing the fight to end.
Ruthless Robbie Lawler.
Valentina Shevchenko's dominant UFC Flyweight Championship run had yet another strong showcase on Saturday night, stopping Lauren Murphy in the fourth round with strikes. Shevchenko had a near-perfect performance against Murphy, showcasing stellar striking and often getting the fight to the ground for periods of time as well. Shevchenko finally zeroed in on a finish in the fourth round. Shevchenko backed Murphy up during the round with a series of punches. She eventually closed the distance and secured a takedown, allowing her to unload with ground and pound for over a minute, maintaining a pace of strikes until the referee stopped the fight.
And still the undisputed UFC Flyweight Champion of the world.
Alexander Volkanovski had a hard-fought, successful title fight against Brian Ortega on Saturday, defeating him via unanimous decision in a UFC Featherweight Championship bout. While scores reflected that Volkanovski took all, or at least most rounds on scorecards, the fight was undoubtedly a challenge, as Ortega showcased his toughness and ability to be a threat on the ground. Volkanovski opened the fight with 2 good rounds of kickboxing, landing the better shots against a game Ortega. Ortega's best moments were when the fight hit the ground, although in many instances it opened up other opportunities for Volkanovski to do damage. Ortega had Volkanovski in trouble in the third round, getting the fight down with a mounted guillotine choke that looked deep. Volkanovski was able to escape the choke and take full mount.
And still the undisputed UFC Featherweight Champion of the world, Alexander the Great.